This video is brought to you by Ridge Wallet, a slim front pocket wallet available in carbon fiber and titanium. With more than 250,000 sold, a lifetime guarantee and free shipping, get 10% off with the code GOLDFISH at ridgewallet.com. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another Instant Deck Tech. So as you know, Thursday means it's Fishbowl Thursday here in Instant Deck Tech land, and we have a super sweet modern list to check out today. This is Blue-White Acid Trip, kind of like a flickery blue-white deck that also could just randomly destroy all of its opponent's lands a little bit slowly, but still, it is super sweet. It comes to us from Pickle the Kid, so thank you so much for Pickle the Kid for sending in a super sweet deck. If you'd like your own deck considered for a future Fishbowl Thursday, leave a link in the comments, or you can email me, saffronolive@mtggoldfish.com. Anyway, let's talk Blue-White Acid Trip in Modern, and we start off with the acid of the deck, Reality Acid. So Reality Acid is a really unique card. For 3 mana, you get an enchantment. The enchantment has this weird mechanic called Vanishing, where you remove time counters. Eventually, you remove them all, and then you sacrifice the permanent. The thing is, when Reality Acid leaves play, enchanted permanent's controller sacrifices it. So this goes on any permanent, and the idea here initially is you play it, you gotta wait 3 turns, and eventually your blue deck gets to destroy any permanent of your choosing. However, there are some ways we can get a little bit tricky with Reality Acid and speed up the process a little bit. So first, we have Helioid's Pilgrim to find our Reality Acid, to make sure we have it as consistently as possible, because we really are built around this card. This is the most important card of our deck, so it just tutors up our Reality Acid for 3 mana, leaves behind a body, which is fine. So that's kind of Reality Acid's number 5 and 6. Then once we get Reality Acid on the battlefield, that's where the fun begins. So we're not planning on playing this on one of our opponent's things and waiting for 3 turns. That's way too slow for Modern. Instead, we're looking to play it on a thing in the very next turn, or even right away, Flicker Wisp or Felidar Guardian the Reality Acid. And the way Reality Acid is worded, when it leaves play, the permanent's controller sacrifices it. So in theory, we can play Reality Acid on our opponent's best creature, on one of their lands, on a Planeswalker, an artifact, enchantment, anything. It's unconditional. Immediately Flicker Wisp to exile the Reality Acid, and then let it come back at the end of turn, or with Felidar Guardian, all happens right away. Just blink it and it comes right back. And our opponent has to sacrifice that permanent. And then, in theory, we can do that again, and do that again, and do that again with more Flicker Wisp and more Felidar Guardians. So eventually, we can just get rid of all of our opponent's stuff. Get rid of their good creatures, their Planeswalkers, eventually attack their mana base. It's kind of like having a really weird Teferi emblem on the battlefield that takes multiple cards to make it work, but the play pattern is the same. We just attack our opponent's permanents until they don't have any resources left. We also have Eldrazi Displacer, which is a little bit weird. It allows us to exile a creature and return it to the battlefield for 3 mana. So obviously, we can't just straight up flicker a Reality Acid. However, we were just talking about our Felidar Guardians, our Flicker Wisp, and Eldrazi Displacer allows us to flicker them, and then they reset the Reality Acid. So yes, there's one more step in between. We can play Reality Acid, immediately just destroy something with Flicker Wisp or Felidar Guardian, but with Eldrazi Displacer and a Felidar Guardian or Flicker Wisp, then we just have this repeatable engine where for 3 mana, we flicker our Felidar Guardian, which flickers Reality Acid, which kills something. Reality Acid comes back, then we flicker it again for 3 more mana, kill something else. So we can just machine gun down any permanent we want for 3 mana, which is a really good deal. Then we have one of my favorite Planeswalkers in the history of Magic, Venser the Sojourner. Works pretty good with Reality Acid. Obviously, we can get random value from flickering Flicker Wisps and so forth, but what we really want to do is get Reality Acid on something. Venser +2 exiles a permanent you control, then you return it at your end step. It's basically a Flicker Wisp on a Planeswalker. So another way we can keep blowing things up with the Reality Acid, and then eventually we get to -8, which makes it so whenever we cast a spell, we get to exile a permanent, which kind of works exactly like Teferi, where we just cast stuff and exile more things to eventually just flawless victory our opponent by flickering Reality Acid and maybe Ultimating Venser, which Ultimating Venser is practical because we could use Reality Acid to get rid of the things that could kill Venser, so a really cool synergy there. Otherwise, for the early game, we just got other things that work well with our flicker synergy and churn us through our deck to find our Reality Acids, our flicker effects. Wall of Omens draws us a card, obviously. If we flicker it, pretty helpful, draws us another card. Thraben Inspector, kind of the same way, comes down on turn 1, makes a clue that can draw us a card. Blade Splicer is kind of our finisher. If we do eventually need to kill our opponent, we can't just keep flickering our Blade Splicer, keep making 3/3 golems, eventually beat our opponent down with them. Aether Vial lets us do some super sweet tricks by just kind of cheating on mana. If we get up to 3, we can spend our real mana to cast a Reality Acid, then Aether Vial to put a Flicker Wisp into play, or at 4, we can put a Felidar Guardian into play to flicker right away and destroy something. So just speeds up the process, lets us cheat on mana, use our real mana to cast our Reality Acids, and cheat our creatures into play for free. Otherwise, Syrup Vision just gets things set up in the early game, another turn 1 play. Mana base wise, a bunch of dual lands, including some weird ones. Mystic Gate, Adhikar Waste, important because they add colorless mana, which we need for our Eldrazi Displacer activations. Some basic lands, one Zelfrin's Void is another colorless land. In the sideboard, we get some more sweet flicker stuff. Even Rift Watcher for aggro just gains us a bunch of life. Yes, it vanishes, but in our deck we can keep resetting the vanishes. So basically it's like the budget Kitchen Finks. It gains 2 whenever it enters or leaves play, so it's 4 altogether. So we just keep flickering that over and over again. Tons of life against aggro. Blade Splicer makes more tokens. We talked about some in the main deck. Vendilion Click for combo and control. Kataki to fight against decks like Affinity. Grand Abolisher to fight through counter spells. Then just the good hate cards. Rest in Peace for graveyards. Leyline to protect ourselves from discard and combo. Negate to counter some stuff. And that is Blue-White Acid Drip from Pickle the Kid. And that has been our Fishbowl Thursday instant deck tech for this week. So again, big thanks to Pickle the Kid for sending it in. The deck looks super fun. I have no idea how good it is, but boy, flawless victory flickery stuff with lots of card draw built in. That is right up my alley. Plus it's got Fetzer, and Fetzer is super sweet, so I really like this deck. Anyway, if you want your own deck considered for a future Fishbowl Thursday, leave me that link in the comments or email me, saffronolive@mtggoldfish.com. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.